Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries live with Tanya E. Hood. I'm glad I get the chance to see you again and hoping that you listen to this morning's episode because today I was having a conversation with those go-getters. Everybody comes to you because you're the one that gets everything done. You're the go-to person for everybody around you. But when it comes time for you to get the help that you need, no one's there. You don't often have the support that you desire in the process. So today, in this morning's episode, I shared a few things that can support you on the journey. One of the things that I shared is after you spend all the time that you have working on that goal, doing that thing that you dream, there will come a time when you will have to pause and deal with the stuff that you decided not to deal with beforehand. When I got divorced, I focused all of my effort and all of my attention on rebuilding my business, clearing up my debt, doing what I had to do to rebuild a life for me and my babies. So I didn't pay attention to all the previous things that was happening to me. If you like that, then this morning's episode will give you a few touch points. One of the things that I did was use a framework. I call it rest. Because when we are running around doing everything for everybody, we don't often rest. That's my first thought process to sit still. Because we don't sit still. If you sit still too long, you end up thinking too much. You feel lonely because you recognize that the life that you wish you had does not exist. And you have not yet formed the life that you desire. So you're stuck. So what do? Pretty much like what I did. You focus on just trying to get through to the next goal that you have. You can visualize what's happening next because your present is not what you desire. Your past no longer exists. So your future is all you focused on. You keep moving, you keep pressing, you keep your thoughts there. If that's what you're doing, that will get you through the meantime. But when it's done, you'll need to rest. So, rest is an acronym that I came up with for the framework of what I had to do. Have a relational element that you need to work through, an emotional element that you need to work through, a spiritual element that you're working through, and something tangible. That tangible element can be getting a home, dealing with your finances. For me, I had to get that car paid off so that I could make certain that nobody came to try to take it from me. Because that day that that man showed up to repossess my vehicle when I had one payment left, man, that almost broke my heart. So I ended up getting what I needed. And when that was finally done, moved on to my next goal. I moved on to the next goal. I moved on to the next goal because it kept me from thinking about what put me in a position that kept me feeling lonely, made me thinking I'm not sure what else to do. My focus helped me to function. Being the go getter, the action oriented person that I am was supportive. I want you to still do what you do, but I want you to build the foundation that you need so that when you reach the goal and you sit back to enjoy it, you can truly enjoy it. So find yourself through these four pillars: rest, relational development. What relationships do you need to start focusing on building up? Lots of times, if you're like me and you just came out of a divorce or long term relationship, the last thing that you want to do is try to build a relationship. You don't want nobody else in your world. You ain't going down that road no more. It is done. But I want you to know that there is life after divorce. You can reset from this. It takes you making a decision to focus on building a better relationship with yourself first. Start with something small. Those of you that listen, you know. What do you like? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite flower? That thing that makes you feel amazing. And if you don't know what it is, take that time to build a better relationship with knowing what you like. Because if you decide to let someone else in on your world, you've already taken the first step that you can introduce who you are to them because you know what you like. Introduce who you are to them because you are clear about what you possess and how you can function moving forward. So when I wasn't intended to do, those of you that have heard this before, you already know, I'm in my second marriage. I never thought after the chaos of that first one that I would ever be in a second one. But when Eric showed up, I knew what my favorite color was because one of the questions that he asked me is, what's your favorite color? Now, had I not gone back and revisited to be certain, because in my first marriage, there was nothing about me that was representative of what my favorite color was. I had the favorite color of my kids, I had the favorite color of my ex. The house was decorated for them. So there was nothing that represented Tanya. So I had to go back and decide, when I was little, this is what I liked. Do I still like it? That rebuilding of a relationship with me first supported me with working on the other foundational pillars. So emotionally, I was more stable. When you find yourself in a better position where you are more emotionally stable, oh, it helps you going through the rest of the journey to get some other things done. So I only worked on a small snippet of my relational enhancement that helped me work on the next small snippet of my emotional development. The part that I focused on better, that helped me truly get out of the emotional warfare that I found myself in the aftermath of my divorce, was my spiritual foundation. Now, if you listen to this morning's episode, you already know that I went on a religious roller coaster ride. That religious roller coaster ride was me being a Lutheran, a Catholic, a Baptist, a Mormon, a Scientologist, an Egyptologist. I studied Buddhism. I went through the whole gamut of a whole bunch of things. But when I decided at the end of the day, when you go deeper into most of those elements, they all drew me back to where my grandmother was trying to guide me from the very beginning, the basic instruction book before leaving Earth. And when I found out that those pieces of finding peace in my life that I was searching for in being a Buddhist, God was already trying to give me peace. When I found out that just the subsets of being a Catholic and a Lutheran all was going back to a foundational teaching of Jesus, I decided to just stop dealing with religion because religion was taking me down a path that was not supporting me. It was having a better relationship, which took me back to the first pillar, focusing on my spiritual element, being a relational element, began to show up that pillar. So spiritually, I decided to let Jesus be the one that I would join on the journey to get my life healed, to get my life whole, and to move me into a better direction. It was there that I stopped chasing religion and started just focusing on just the spiritual elements of my being. And I got whole, y'all. And it helped me show up a little bit more emotionally, gave me another perspective by having a better relationship with myself, which then gave me the element that it was okay to have a better relationship with others. So if you got to revisit these pillars at different touch points in your world to keep you whole, do it. It's a support system. The framework is simple, so it walks you through what you need. And the last part, the T, that was the tangible piece. Because being an action oriented person, the go getter, the one that everybody goes to so that they can get what they need to get done, use that skill set for you. When I decided that I was going to be the go to person for the pieces in my world, I started changing. So the $35,000 worth of debt that was left to me in the aftermath of my divorce, I was able to clear that up in 2 years. And it gave me clarity that my go to moments that I give to everybody else, if I just took the time to apply it to me, I can make some other things in my world a lot better. If you, if you just take the time to apply the skill set that you have for everybody around you, you can make certain that the rest of your life is better as well. So my relationships got better. My emotional being got better. I was focused spiritually on how I would function moving forward. So tangibly, things worked out. And when I reached the goal, when I finally accomplished the task that I had set out before me, I was able to rest. And I'm hoping that this discussion, that these touch points support you in taking the time that you need to rest as well. And I gave you the quick touch points that I shared in this morning's episode. I encourage you to go back and listen. And when you do, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Share your insight. What elements have you being the action-oriented person used to be able to make certain that you are okay when you accomplish your goal, when you reach the task, when you are done with all the things that you have been running to get done. And in the quiet, still moments when you are by yourself, sometimes it feels lonely because we're focusing on what happened in the past, or we just have not faced what we needed to face to ensure that we are healed, we are whole, so that we can continue to move into a better direction. Let me know what your thoughts are. And so for today, if you don't remember anything else I've shared, here's the one thing I want you to know. You can still be the action oriented go to for others, but make certain that you rest and do it for you so that the lonely moments or the moments in pause where you did not go back and take a look, you get the chance to really focus now. And if you want someone to join you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, tanyaehood.com. There you can click under the Work With Me tab and see the various ways that we can work with one another. And if anything that I've shared today resonates with you, then you definitely know it's time to reset. So like, comment, and share this with others so that they can get some insight poured into them. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.